Welcome. Welcome to Convocation, a celebration of the new academic year, Beloit College's 170th, and a formal welcome on the part of the whole college to our newest students. We're going to start with a couple of rounds of applause. The first is for those who helped to first sound you into this college with glorious music. Greg Long, Beloit class of 2009, who played the bagpipes, and Emeritus Professor Max Yount on the organ. Thank you. Second, sitting in the front rows here are our faculty marshals who managed to do something amazing at this college, which is to do something new. And they pulled it off, I think, with great aplomb. So thank you to our faculty marshals, most especially Shannon Fye. Shannon is our chief marshal, and since sort of late July, she's been drawing, maps of the chapel and of College Street and everything else, and just did a fantastic job. So one of the things that has probably become clear to you, for those of you who are new to Beloit, is that we are not a very formal place. Yet we retain this tradition of starting the year with a formal academic procession, donning our medieval robes. And so one thing Scott asked me as we were sitting up here and watching everyone come in, he said, well, what's going to be your call? And I said, I don't know, which of course means it's up to you. So one of the traditions that we have is that if it's unbearably warm, our faculty may sort of our faculty and staff may shrug their robes off their shoulders and keep themselves cool. So I think you all should do what you think best relative to that. Of course, as I always say, those of us on the platform party show our fortitude by staying in our robes. But it is somewhat odd at Beloit these days to retain a formal tradition. And I tend to think that we keep this one because, like most traditions, it signals an important point in our lives, setting it apart and alerting us to pay attention and to reflect. To those of you just joining the college, I encourage you to mark this moment in your memory. Processing down College Street and being greeted by the Beloit College faculty and staff as you walked into Eaton Chapel, you formally joined the Beloit College community. You are now officially a Beloiter. And if everything goes as predicted, it will change your life and you will change ours. Convocation is an important moment for all of us. It calls us back to our mission, and it connects that mission to our daily lives. It reminds us of our commitment to learning from one another through our complementary intelligences and imaginations. It brings us back to our obligation to use that education to seek informed, ethical, and thoughtful action in a complex and often confusing world. It reminds us that we are all part of this enduring community and its values. For many of you, Beloit may still feel pretty strange, and you're not alone. This place can take some getting used to. And people getting dressed up in robes and funny hats may or may not make you feel more at ease. Yet this is your college. While it has a rich history, it is also what it is because of what you bring to it. Back in 1848, Beloit's first two professors met on a spot near here. You new students may be able to relate at least a little bit to what those two men, Joseph Emerson and Jackson Bushnell, must have experienced. For you, this last week has likely felt simultaneously thrilling, exhausting, and a little daunting. So many buildings to find your way around, expectations and requirements to understand, food to get used to, and people to meet. Now, imagine what it was like to arrive here from the east by boat and horse-drawn coach. And then you come to this hill. Middle College, the only college building, was only half built, and construction of it had stalled. It's likely that some livestock were wandering around on what we now call campus, and Emerson and Bushnell were both under the age of 30. And they had been charged with building a college that would serve as an intellectual and civic sentinel for their times and beyond. The audacity of that project had to have been both inspiring and nerve-wracking. Joseph Emerson fell prey to the nerve-wracked part of that equation. He turned to Bushnell and he asked, "Can we have a college here?" And in one of the best and most resolute replies he could have offered, Bushnell answered, "Yes, if we will make it." If we will make it. Emerson and Bushnell did make that college, and we do too. Beloit is what it is and will be because we make it. I emphasize both the we here and the active verb make. You, our most newly minted Beloiters, are now a part of making this college. This is a long-term proposition, extending well beyond the time that you will spend here. The annual ritual of convocation reminds us that we are all a part of this history that extends well beyond us gathered here, across the world and backward and forward in time. You have chosen Beloit because you think it will give you something you need to be the kind of person that you want to be. Similarly, you offer Beloit the things we need to be the kind of college and community we want to be. Without you, your curiosity and empathy, your vulnerabilities, your resilience, your grit, your experiences and your perspectives and opinions, our community would be less rich, less alive, less Beloit. We look forward to seeing what each of you becomes and what you make our college become. One of your partners in that making and becoming is President Scott Bierman, who, after helping some of you move into your rooms last week, and if you remember, he also told your families to go away, will now expand further upon what it means to be a Beloiter.
Welcome, welcome, new students. You have been here only 1 week, and we like you even more than we thought we would. Indeed, I have yet to speak to a single FYI instructor who has said anything about you that is less than glowing. That is not always the case. RAs tell me that on a security report per student per day, you are 2.2 standard deviations below the average for new students. Indeed, I have heard that bell runs by the class right in front of me are point in time 24% below the decennial average. And to pat myself on the back for a moment, not a single one of your parents has emailed me, texted me, or called me to tell me how I have screwed up your lives in your first week on campus. This is a record. I even like your parents more than I thought I would. Please thank them for me. Well done. To abruptly change subjects, on November 8th, we will put to rest this reality show of a presidential campaign in the United States. Presidential election years bring into sharp relief for me the value of Beloit College's mission. Consider for a moment or two contrasting models of discourse. Model A for arrogance, a kind of know-it-all model. I'm here to tell you the truth. All you need to do is listen, and you are an idiot if you do not agree with me type of model. Model B for Beloit, is based on an opportunity to learn. It is inquiry-driven. It seeks evidence and boldly interrogates that evidence. It gropes towards a deeper understanding, seeking ever more foundational questions, knowing that truth can be elusive, is always elusive, and that different people come to knowledge in very different ways with often surprisingly different results. It is humble. Model A is often based on ad hominem rhetorical attacks. It makes unsubstantiated claims while couching substantiation in cherry-picked and exaggerated evidence. Model A is openly antagonistic to countervailing evidence. Model B is not only respectful of other participants in the dialogue, but intentionally seeks out how their experiences and understandings bring new meaning and new insights that may not lead to greater agreement, but they often lead to clearer, better reasoned, and more evidenced differences of opinion, out of which can come ever more fruitful dialogue. Model A features narrow divisiveness. It strives to drive a wedge between the world as seen by one side and all other sides. It actively seeks these wedges. The objective in many instances is the wedge. It is dogmatic. Model B is courageous and opportunistic. It actively seeks strengths and weaknesses in one's thinking. It looks for new evidence and new reasoning from new sources and new dialogue that might strengthen or weaken one's position, but often nudges it in a new direction. We are in the midst of what has the potential to go down as one of the stupidest and most dangerous presidential election cycles in American history. All elections are heavy on Model A and light on Model B, but this one looks like it might conclude as a poster child for arrogance. That is unworthy of this country's ideals. It is unworthy because the issues we face as a country and a world are very real, enormously important, and exceptionally complex. And the Model A dialogue we are engaged in as a nation right now, at least as experienced to the presidential dialogue, will not advance our understanding in any serious way. In fact, it is likely to set us back. That is an enormous missed opportunity. But you are on the cusp of inaugurating your Beloit education by hearing from Professor Tableau Terrell. Professor Terrell is a living embodiment of how to promote and employ a Model B type of discourse. At its core, Model B is a model of respect and tolerance, a model that starts from a position that we all have a great deal to learn, and we all belong to a community with a great deal to teach us. Yes, you, new students, have a great deal to teach us. And as talented as you are, you have a lot to learn. And as great as Beloit College can be, you will still have a lot to learn when you graduate. Indeed, at its core, Beloit College will shape you as a learner, not as a knower. Professor Terrell models this paradigm in all aspects of his teaching and mentorship. I say this knowing that it sounds glib, but I do not mean it in that way. Beloit College, when it does its job well, provides rich opportunities for you to engage in authentic and rich Model B type dialogue, but this is not easy, and it is rarely natural. And Beloit College is not perfect in this regard. Indeed, we all spend way, way too much time being arrogant and too little time being Beloitish. Beloit is often less Beloit than we would like. It is one of our tasks right now to try and change that. And the sharp relief between the presidential dialogue and Beloit College's mission serves as a great prompt. So, my challenge for all of us at the inauguration of your Beloiterness is to be energetically intentional and aspirational about the quality of the dialogues in which we will be engaged in the weeks and months ahead as we go from this opening moment of your time at Beloit to Election Day, November 8th and beyond. Let's commit ourselves to rising far, far above the likely presidential rhetoric. Let's aim for a dialogue worthy of all of us in this room, worthy of the model about to be set by Professor Terrell, worthy of Beloit College's mission that has drawn us all here together. Welcome. It is a great day to be a Beloiter. Thank you.
I would now like to introduce to you Isaac Harvey Wolf, who is the president of Beloit Student Congress, so that he can offer his perspective of Beloit. A native of Lincoln, Massachusetts, Isaac put his interests in history and political science to work this summer by designing a role-playing computer game to teach high school students about civics. While I think that the game design was a success, it sounds as if Isaac also learned a lot about the joys and challenges of collaboration, the virtue of market research, and self-imposed deadlines, and also what life is like when neither your family nor Commons is providing you with food. So, welcome, Isaac.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Anne, for that kind welcome. Today, I'm going to talk about what I think is one of the greatest strengths of the Beloit experience, your ability to make your time here how you want it to be. You've stepped into a whole new world at Beloit. Your orientation experience has provided you with a brief introduction of the campus and community. However, now that the year is in full swing, campus life and activities will resume, and you will be a lot busier. You've probably begun to settle into a routine that balances the different demands on your time. As you choose how you want to spend your time, I hope that you will think about those decisions as opportunities to become the person you want to be. Whatever you choose to do will have an impact on what you learn and on the you that you are becoming during your time at Beloit College. I arrived at Beloit intending to study anthropology and museum studies, but a few courses later, I found my love for history and political science. I am one of many students who has changed their academic focus upon exploring at Beloit. As a result, I've worked in developing my skills in topics which I find fun. Likewise, you have the amazing opportunity to explore what interests you and then focus in to do what you enjoy. There are many directions you can take, and I'm not just talking about picking 1, 2, or even 3 of the majors available to you. During your time at Beloit, do you want to prioritize spending time with your friends, preparing for a specific career, working to further a cause you're passionate about, or interacting with some other compelling drive in your life? Regardless of what you choose, Beloit provides ways to make what you do into a valuable educational experience. You are not in a contest. You do not really win or lose in this. Rather, you have choices about how you want to develop yourself. I would like to repeat, your experience at Beloit surrounds you with opportunities to reboot, taking the person you are right now and making choices about the person you would like to become. You've made an excellent decision to come to Beloit. Everyone, from your academic advisors and other professors, to college staff and the RAs, to representatives in the Student Congress, want to help you. You can even explore the opportunities created by interests prior students have had from the comfort of your own room on B-Link. If you don't see something that looks like what you do, you have the power, and I might go as far as to say the responsibility, to make it happen yourself. The time slot I'm speaking in is an opportunity for the president of the Beloit Student Congress to talk about what makes Beloit Beloit, including the campus culture. Here's what I have to say about that. You are all Beloit College students, and already you are shaping the campus culture. You have incredible power. Your academic interests will help the school decide which classes to offer and which majors to hire professors for. Your interactions with other individuals will either make them feel welcome or not at Beloit, impacting which individuals walk our halls. Your extracurricular passions will determine which student groups thrive and continue. Some among you will be admissions liaisons, leading to the next generation of Beloit students. You make Beloit Beloit. So I do not feel a need to tell you what my perception of the campus culture is. We collectively will make and create the campus cultures we want. I chose to talk with you about being intentional and serious, but making conscious choices for how you want to develop yourself, in the hopes that we can all work towards a community that focuses on the values of self-improvement and exploration, of learning and of play, of inclusivity, and of putting the liberal arts into practice. I wish you all a wonderful Beloit experience, and I urge you to make it yours. Thank you.
I suddenly realized that part of my job involves kind of trusting that things will happen. And what is the case is bits and pieces are there. So that's awesome. So come on up. I'd like to welcome our a cappella group, Bits and Pieces, to the stage to share with us 2 Beloit-esque songs.
Reading ancient manuscripts in history class, synthesizing aspirin in the lab, doing contact improv in the Hendrix Center, to the sports center so I can work my abs. Oh Beloit, what goes on here? La 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 at Beloit. Oh Beloit, what goes on here? La 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 at Beloit. Voodoo Barbies improving in Richardson. The Buccaneers are playing in the flood. Bits and Pieces has a show in Java Joint, and if you're still bored, you can always join a club. Oh Beloit, what goes on here? La 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 at Beloit. Oh Beloit, what goes on here? La 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 at Beloit. Those other schools are simply not for me. Here at Beloit, I am free to make my own identity. The farmers market's open in the warmer months, and next year I am studying abroad. I love studying around the world, but I still miss the times we danced at Folk and Blues Fest in the quad. Oh Beloit, what goes on here? La 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 at Beloit. Oh Beloit, what goes on here? La 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 at Beloit. In the President's Lounge, hanging out with Scotty B. I'm having class sitting with the squirrels in the garden of poetry. Oh Beloit, Tell her,
I could leave today.
I can leave today. California, California dreaming. I'm such a winter's
California dreaming.
I'm such a winter's
California dreaming.
I'm such a winter's day.
Each year, a Beloit College faculty member offers a welcome to our new students that imparts a sense of Beloit's commitments. President Bierman has already given you a good sense of why we asked Pablo Terral to offer those remarks this year. It is my pleasure to introduce you to my colleague in political science. Pablo is a professor of political science, and he is the 2016 recipient of the James R. Underkoffler Award, Beloit's highest recognition of excellence in teaching. If you don't know Pablo yet, I have no doubt that you soon will, for he is quite literally everywhere. He teaches courses not only in political science and international relations, but in environmental studies, Latin and Caribbean studies, European studies, and health and society. In his community engagement and service on campus and beyond, he models ethical engagement and democratic leadership, with a particular emphasis on human rights, global engagement, and environmental sustainability. He's also a triple intramural threat, playing on the IM, soccer, volleyball, and ultimate frisbee teams for the faculty and staff. Nominating Pablo for the Underkoffler Teaching Prize, one student wrote, "He is an amazing professor who pushes students not just to engage and understand material, but also challenge and expand upon ideas. I feel smarter each time I take one of his classes." We now all have the opportunity to feel smarter by hearing Pablo talk today.
Thank you, Anne. I mean, if you have so many great things to say about me, why did you put me last after Bits and Pieces? That's an impossible act to follow. But anyways, all right. So I'm delighted to be here. I'm very shy, so it's really hard for me to speak in public. But I thought that when President Bierman, I do social science, I look for patterns. And there's a pattern that when President Bierman introduces a speaker here, then the speaker gets funky-looking socks and a turtle. So I'm looking forward to mine. All right. Today or tomorrow. Oh. Thank you. I didn't think he was going to be able to do it, so I just made myself worse. All right. Well, welcome everyone. Bienvenidos. I want to welcome my colleagues, especially our new colleagues, those of you who are joining us today, this week. I hope that you will be happy here. We'll have a chance to catch up later in the semester. But I thought I would write a couple of words for the students. Since you're new in college, I think all of us older were here once. And I was thinking about what was going through me when I went to college, and I decided to reflect a little bit on that and maybe offer some advice based on my own experience. I hope you'll find it useful. First of all, as I said, welcome to Beloit students. I think if you haven't realized yet that you're now free at last, free to get up whenever you want, free to eat what you like, free to pick your friends, free to choose your courses, but most importantly, I think you're free to be yourself. This is a unique opportunity to be the person that you want to be. And on that, I really want to offer a few words of advice, because I think this is a great opportunity and also an incredible challenge. Over the years, without a doubt, you have grown to be the person that you are today under the careful watch and guidance of those who love you back home. And I'm sure that they will always be there for you. That's amazing. But you have made the decision to leave home and go to college, where you find yourselves today. And not just any college. You have chosen to come to Beloit. This is a high honor, and it's also, if you allow me to say, a great responsibility. because you have come to a place where everybody's special. You already heard the three people who went before me, and there is a lot of similarity in what I have to say, to the point I was telling Professor Bierman that I'm going to sue Anne for stealing some of my lines. I think my computer must be bugged. Yes. Watch, colleagues, the dean is watching what you type. But it is indeed a very unique, special place. I think you're sitting in a room with more than 400 people who will soon become your friends, your mentors, your role models, I hope. This is a good chance to start thinking about who you want to be. Everyone at Beloit will work as hard as we can to make sure we teach you the most exciting courses you have ever thought you could take. We have put together the most amazing learning opportunities on campus and beyond that will keep you busy 27 hours a day if your body can take it. We have enough co-curricular activities that will help you apply the skills that you start building in your courses. You are coming to an amazing institution that has been built over the course of its long history by amazing people. You're joining, and I want to emphasize this, a learning community, a community that we all belong to. A community, and I want to highlight that Beloit is a very ambitious one, ambitious learning community. Our mission statement, written, discussed, and approved by the students, the staff, and the faculty of this college, commits us all to prepare students so that they can lead fulfilling lives marked by high achievement, personal responsibility, and public contribution in a diverse society. This is a very high bar that we have given ourselves. Yes, we celebrate diversity, and I really want to highlight this. Look around. We have people of different backgrounds sitting in this room, coming from every corner of this country and the world. Not only do we look different, we speak with different accents. Most of you have noticed have an American accent, come from very different cultural traditions. We should celebrate and cherish this rich diversity because it is a perfect starting point to strengthen our community of learners. I am sure that all of you had to overcome difficult obstacles to be here today. It wasn't easy. Life is not easy. Without a doubt, some of you had more obstacles than others. But this diversity of struggles and experiences that we went through to get here makes us stronger and richer. Everyone's life's experience should serve as a source of inspiration, pride, love, knowledge for everyone in this room. Everyone's life experience matters. We embrace everyone's difference as our own, we celebrate it, and we let our learning experience at Beloit be guided by the need to empower everyone to ask and answer the questions that they care about. Learning collaboratively, teaching one another, caring about each other, that will help us embrace everyone's learning goals as our own. That's how we build our learning community. And this learning community of cheerful, intelligent, and creative people will help you students develop the tools to lead fulfilling lives marked by high achievement and personal responsibility. It has certainly helped me and everyone else who came before us. Yes, you're now free to be yourself, to be who you want to be, but you're not alone, as you realize, and you won't be when you leave Beloit either. You're a member of this community and many other communities. Here, you will become a member of the class of 2020. As you prepare to be the person that you want to be, you have to ask yourself, what community you want to belong to? What will you contribute? Those are the questions that I always ask myself when I go out every day. Challenges abound. Here in the United States, we have a very hard time dealing with difference. Profound divisions exist along racial boundaries, religious and ideological beliefs, socioeconomic differences, education, gender identities. I credit American society for working hard over the years to address these challenges. A lot of progress has been made, and many of us would not have been able to be here a few decades ago, but we are today. I celebrate and thank those who worked so hard before us to make this possible. But significant challenges still remain. The dream of creating a truly meritocratic society that grants everyone equal opportunity to succeed remains elusive, especially for some. In spite of profound legal changes that make that happen, it saddens me to see that many of us do not trust the very state institutions whose job it is to protect us, to protect them, and to give us a chance to realize our dreams. Prejudice and social norms create further divisions that keep many from accessing material, institutional, cultural, social, and environmental resources. You're free at last to be yourself, and I'd like you to think about these challenges. Have you asked what contribution you intend to make? Here at Beloit, we see these momentous challenges as opportunities, as I said. Opportunities to take personal responsibility and make your own public contribution. What if the person that you choose to be is one who decides to take on one of these, some challenges, and decides to turn things around? You bring us your intelligence, your imagination, and your curiosity, and provide avenues for you to develop the skills and the knowledge that you will need to make a difference in our diverse community. Believe in yourself. Don't take for granted that the world that previous generations created cannot crumble. When I went through college in Spain, I wanted to change the world. That's the main reason I went to college. I want life. I said that I also wanted to make some money along the way, but I thought the two things were compatible. I read the main European structuralist scholars because I thought that they had done a very good job identifying the challenges that I saw in society, the challenges that I wanted to overcome. That was reassuring to me. I was not alone. Except that the readings of these people made me feel totally powerless. What I learned from them was that the rich and powerful will always call the shots, and there is little or nothing that I could do about this. Yes, I also read liberalism, postmodernism, feminism, and a few other isms, but it was my conversation, one conversation that I once had after class with one of my mentors, Nicholas Onuf, that gave me some hope that as simple college students could also make a difference. While discussing his book, World of Our Making, he made me realize that while structural factors around us constrain what we can do, we are the ones who create the structures in the first place. If we create them, we can change them. My conclusion, well, that was the most important learning opportunity that I had, I think. It might sound a little simple to you right now, but at the point I was so emotional about this, I think I even cried. Well, the fact is that he helped me believe in human agency, so I overcame my powerlessness. What this means is that I realized that we can do things. I am not naive not to realize that power differentials matter. After all, I'm in a political science department and we study power. But I have come to appreciate that there are many types of power. There is the power of money. Weapons give some people some power sometimes. But the type of power that mostly interests me is the power of ideas and the power of the people, the power of the average person, the power of average people coming together to move the world, to change the world around them. And where lies the power of the people? I think the ability to bring people together, people of different backgrounds, is what makes us strong. I believe that diverse communities like this one are richer, stronger, and more fun and interesting as well. A diverse community that celebrates diversity is more inclusive and empowers all of its members to contribute, to share, to work together. It can generate better ideas, can best identify the challenges that we need to take on and propose solutions. Students, you are free at last, free to be yourselves, free to choose the world that you want to live in. Look around the room, realize the talent, the dreams, the ambitions, the hope of so many people here today. Think about the potential we have just here in this community to start working towards a better world. Take responsibility for your part and make a contribution to change things to make us stronger. Let's start by building community here on campus today. Here are two tips, two humble tips, but they work for me. First, when you leave this room, talk to someone you do not know. Only when you leave, not now that you're listening to me. Every day, to talk to someone new. Ask them how they're doing. Show that you care about them, that you care about their concerns, their worries, share their joy, their sorrows. Ask them where they're from, what they like, what their dreams are. Sometimes I'm a little late for this, but I think it's okay. Ask them for advice. Eat a meal with different people, one every day, a different meal, a different person. Talk to a stranger, those who cross paths with you on your way to class, in the hallways. Even talk to your professors or your advisors. We're people too. And secondly, and that builds on my just comment, engage the faculty and the staff. There is no wall that divides us. We are all part of the same community, and we all have something to offer. I think the world is ours. Let's build it the way we like it. Students, welcome to Beloit. You're free at last. We now have a world to build. Let's do it together. Thank you.
I knew we made a good decision in terms of asking you to speak, Pablo. That was really great. Thank you. So we have a glorious day for a picnic. Could I ask our flag bearers to come up and make your way to your flags? I promised Shannon that I would give you instructions. So the flags are going to lead us out of the chapel. The chief marshal and the platform party and the other marshals will then follow, and we will all be marching to the music, again, provided by Max Yount. Many thanks to him. And then once we have departed, you are free to exit from whichever exit you wish. So there are a couple of side exits as well as the door from which you entered. Okay? So let us recess, and I shall see you on the Chapin Quad.